Hi, this is YouTube librarian on Patreon, and I checked out Tracy Wolf's Crush. I tried to contact her organization, but the email bounced. So I don't know if I can or can't do this. I got to chapter 3. Without thinking, I pushed Jason away and stumbled back a few steps. He makes a noise low in his throat, but he doesn't try to stop me. Instead, he just looks at me with his gaze as shocked and shaking as I feel inside. What was that? I whisper. What was what? He answers, watching me carefully. That's when I realized he didn't hear it, didn't feel it. I don't know, I'm sorry the words come instinctively that I didn't mean. He shakes his head, even as he too takes a definite step back. Don't worry about it, Grace, it's okay. You've been through a lot. He means what happened with Leia, I tell myself. But he went through a lot with that too. And it shows, I realize, as I look him over, he's skinnier than I've ever seen before. So that his ridiculous cheekbones and cut-glass jaw look even more defined than usual. His dark hair is a little longer, a little shaggier than I'm used to. So his scar is barely visible, and the purple circles under his eyes are so dark. They look like bruises. He's still beautiful, but now that beauty is an open wound, one that makes me ache. The longer I look at him, the deeper the panic takes hold of me. Because these aren't overnight changes. People's hair doesn't grow in a day or two. And they don't usually lose weight that fast either. Something happened, something big, and for some reason I can't remember what it is. What's going on, Jackson? When he doesn't answer fast enough, I turn to my uncle, a sudden anger burning just under my skin. I'm sick and tired of always being kept in the dark. Tell me, Uncle Finn, I know something is wrong. I can feel it, plus my memory's all wonky, and your memory is wonky, Uncle Finn repeats, coming close to me. For the first time since Jackson walked into the room. What does that mean exactly? It means I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. What Macy and I talked about before bed last night again. Jackson and Uncle Finn exchange a long look. I don't do that, I tell them. Don't cut me out. We're not cutting you out, Uncle Finn assures me as he holds up a placating hand. We're just trying to figure things out too. Why don't you guys come into my office and we'll talk for a few minutes? He turns to Mrs. Havisham. Can you please call Maurice for me? Tell her Grace is here and ask her to come by as soon as possible. She nods, of course, I'll let her know it's urgent. Why do we need Maurice? My stomach tightens at the thought of once again being checked over by Katmir's nurse practitioner, who also happens to be a vampire. The last 2 times she's done that, I've had to lay on my butt in bed for way longer than I wanted to. I don't feel sick, except I make the mistake of glancing down at my hands for the second time today. And it finally registers just how bruised and bloody they are. You look a little worse for wear, my uncle says in a deliberately soothing voice as we enter his office and he closes the door behind us. I just want to get you checked out, make sure everything's alright. I have a million questions and I'm determined to get answers to them all. But once I'm seated at one of the chairs in front of Uncle Finn's heavy cherry wood desk and he's perched on the corner of that same desk, he starts asking questions of his own. I know this probably sounds strange, but can you tell me what month it is, Grace? The month my mother makes things like a stone. I barely get the next word out of my throat. Close up November when Jackson's and Uncle Finn's gaze collide. I know there's something really wrong with my answer. Anxiety skitters down my spine and I try to take a deep breath, but it feels like there's a weight pressing on my chest, making that impossible. The pounding in my temples makes the feeling worse, but I refuse to give in to the beginnings of what I recognize could easily turn into a full-blown panic attack. Instead, I wrap my hands around the edges of my seat to ground myself. Then I take a minute to list several things in the room in my head, just like Heather's mom taught me after my parents died. Desk clock, plant, one, a laptop, book, pen, folders, another book, ruler. By the time I get to the end of the list, my heart rate almost back to normal, and so is my breathing, as well as the absolute certainty something very wrong has happened. What month is it? I ask quietly, turning to Jackson. He's given it to me as straight as he could from the first day I got to Catmere Academy, and that's what I need right now. I can handle whatever's going on, I just need to know the truth. I reach for his hand, hold it in both of mine. Please, Jackson, just tell me what I'm missing. Jackson nods reluctantly, then whispers, "You've been gone for almost 4 months. 4 months?" Shock ricochets through me all over again. For months that's impossible. Yeah, I know it feels that way, Uncle Finn tries to soothe, but it's March, Grace, March, I repeat, because apparently repetition is pretty much all I'm capable of right now. March 5th, Jackson's voice is grim, watch his forget pounding. Full-blown terror whips through me now, flaying my insides, making me feel raw and exposed and empty in a way I can't describe. 4 months of my life of my senior year have disappeared, and I can't remember any of them. I don't understand, how could I? It's okay, Grace. Jackson's gaze is steady on mine. His grip on my hands as firm and supportive as I could ever ask for. We'll figure this out, or can it be okay? I lost 4 months, Jackson. My voice cracks on his name, and I take a shuddering breath and try again. What happened? My uncle reaches over and squeezes my shoulder. Take another deep breath. Grace, good. He smiles encouragingly. Okay, now take one more and let it out slowly. I do as he says, noticing that his lips move the whole time. I'm exhaling a calming spell. I wonder as once more I inhale and exhale to the countess then. If so, does it feel like it's working all that well? Now, when you're ready, tell me the last thing you remember. His warm eyes hold mine. The last thing I remember, the last thing I remember, it should be an easy question, but it's not. Partially because of the yawning blackness in my mind, and partially because so much of what I remember feels murky, untouchable, like my memories are floating deep underwater. And I can see only the shadow of what's there, the shadow of what used to be. I remember everything that happened with me, I finally say, because it's true. I remember being in the infirmary. I remember building a snowman. The memory warms me and I smile. The chick's son who smiles back at least. With his mouth, his eyes look as gravely concerned as ever. I remember Flint apologizing to me about trying to kill me. I remember I break up as a hand to me suddenly hot cheek as I recall the sensation of fangs skating along the sensitive skin of my neck and shoulders before sinking. Oh, Jackson, I remember Jackson. And my uncle clears his throat, looking more than a little embarrassed himself. But all he says is anything else I don't know. It's so I break off his one crystal clear. The memory sweeps through my brain. I turn to Jackson for confirmation. We were walking down the hall, you were telling me a joke. The one about the clarity of sitting being replaced by the fuzziness that envelops so many of my memories right now. I fight through it, determined to hold on to this one clear thought. No, that not right now. I was asking you the punchline to the pirate joke. I feel there's another much more chilling part of the memory becomes clear. Oh my God, Huxley, I didn't, she brought him back. He was here, he was right here. I look between Jackson and Uncle Finn, searching for confirmation even as the memory swamps me, drags me under the sea. Alive, I ask, voice shaking under the weight of everything Jackson has told me about his brother. Is he at Cadmere? Uncle Finn looks grim as he answers. That's exactly what we wanted to ask you. So that was chapter 3. But Sleeping Beauty's got nothing on me. And I just got a new controller. the LeBron controller from PlayStation. It's very interesting. It features multiple Basquiat crowns and the phrase, "Nothing is given, everything is earned. The chosen ones will build, uplift, and power, I promise." It's got some other obscure messages on it, some numerology, some symbolism, probably a basket court ball. So that's that.